There's two types of charts we're going to start out talking about. The first one is called a player compare chart. The second one is player targets charts. When you start to set up your dashboard, you can add charts by clicking the add chart button and then selecting which chart you'd like to add. You can kind of see a little bit here of what my dashboard looks like in season and some of the metrics and features that I like to track. A few features that we want to look at in the settings menu is the chart title. If this is a top speed chart, I can change the name by just changing it right here. And again, just like Google Drive, it's going to automatically save for you. With the date range, I can either look at selected date, which is the date that I have at the top of my team stats page, or I can look at week to day. And the week to day is going to give me a glimpse of throughout the entire week from Monday through today, what is the highest or what is the cumulative effort for the metric that I've selected. So in this case, it's going to tell me an athlete top speed, the highest top speed they've hit all week long. I can filter out groups. So if I want to look at just our skill position players, those wide receivers and DBs, I can look at just them, or I can look at just the bigs, or I can, again, look at the entire team all in one place. We can sort by value, or we can sort by name. In the player compare charts, I can select top speed thresholds. What this allows me to do is to change the speed and the color that each speed band is based off the speed that they hit. So if I wanted to turn red at 21 mile an hour, orange at 20 mile an hour, and at 19 mile an hour, I want it to turn yellow. And then we'll say 16 mile an hour, I want it to turn green. Now, the athlete's performance is going to dictate which color it is. And this really helps throughout the course of the season because now I can go in on Tuesday and look to see who is blue. Those in blue might need some extra speed work. Or if we're talking about player load, after Tuesday, if you're already orange or if you're pushing red, we'd probably need to pull back on those guys. So there's different applications of these charts. The second type of chart that we're going to talk about is the player targets chart. Similar to the player compare chart, you still have those same drop-down boxes. And from the settings perspective, all of the top are the same when it comes to the chart title, date range, and all of that. The biggest difference is the thresholds. So if you'll notice on here, we now have a set of white bars, a lower bar, and an upper bar. That is our min and our max threshold. And the player's output that you're seeing here is what determines what color it is. So if it's under the minimum, it's going to be in blue. As it approaches the minimum, it's going to start to turn green. Then as it approaches the max, it's going to turn yellow. When it crosses the max, it's going to turn orange. And then once it reaches a certain value over the max, it's going to start to turn red. The best application of this would be a week-to-date chart. As I'm monitoring athletes over the course of the season, I can come in after Tuesday and I can look to see who's green, who's red, who's blue, and start to make decisions based off what they need for the coming days in practice and in our workouts. If you look closely here, we can set individual thresholds. So I can set Nate's different than Brady's and different than Cole's, or I can set thresholds for the entire team by changing the all players thresholds here. Next up, we'll talk about how we use some of this data to start impacting our week leading up to Friday.